Hello there, and welcome to lesson 6 of the Adobe Creative Club. Meredith, how are you?
Oh, I'm very well. Shemai Dom, how are you? Welcome back, everybody.
Shemai, Dayan, welcome back. Lesson number 6, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, and we're getting on to the video editing today. This is going to be a load of fun.
Nice. Yeah, exactly. Loads of new things happening in the video editor in Adobe Express. So this one promises to be action-packed. Right, how are we going to start off? What have you got for us?
Well, if you remember, in the last session, we created our video storyboard. So what we're going to try and do today is create a really simple social media video advertising our outdoor activity center. And we're going to stick to quite basic editing skills today, and then we're going to develop those skills over the next few sessions.
Nice. Okay, should we take a quick look at the storyboard that you created?
Yeah, Brill.
Let's flash it up.
There she is.
Yeah.
I'll just pop over here to the side. Hiya.
That is a shocker. Yeah, okay. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So let's get that off. So that's the one that we did, or that you did, and I did a version as well. I did a slightly smaller version, a 4-box version. And now you're going to actually make that become real, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're going to have to compromise a bit with what videos are available, because we're going to be using the really cool stock video library that's built into Adobe Express. So maybe we won't quite get all of our clips as we want them, but that's giving us our starting point. It's giving us our kind of vision for the video, and then we'll see where it goes.
Gotcha. Okay. Right. Should we share your screen and then get on with it?
Absolutely. Let's go.
Cool.
So we're going to start a new video project. So to do that, up on the top left of the Adobe Express dashboard, you can see your blue plus button. So we're going to click on that. And you can see here straight away in our suggested sizes that we see video appears there. Okay, so I'm just going to click on video there. And it is going to open up our new Adobe Express video editor. This is probably the one single biggest development to Adobe Express. There's loads of obviously new cool stuff in Express, but I think the video editor is a massive shake-up and a huge improvement on the old version. Would you say so, Dom?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's definitely more of a learning curve, but I think the possibilities of what you can do with it are pretty mega compared to the old one.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so just so that we can kind of get used to what's happening, right down at the bottom of the screen there, you can see kind of a white bar. And that there is our timeline. And that first white bar you can see there is our first scene. It's just given us a blank, empty, single scene to start off our video. And then we can add different scenes to this, as you'd maybe add pages to a standard document or a standard project. And then we can add cool things like voiceovers, music, and so on. Okay, so looking back at our storyboard, the first thing that I had, my first scene on my storyboard was actually my my logo with a kind of muddy background. There we are. You can see there, top left, my first scene is my logo with a muddy background. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into
before you gallop off into the sunset there, do me a favor and call this project something so that I can find it later.
Yeah, so let's click right up at the top left and let's change this from that crazy file name that it's given us to, I'm going to call it GGG Social Video 1.
Nice.
There we go. There it is. Sorted. Okay, so let's go and see what kind of video we can find. So on the left-hand toolbar, you'll see the media button. So I've clicked on that. And then I'm choosing the videos tab at the top. And then in the search bar, I'm going to search for mud and see what we get.
Oh, there's a class one actually I've just found. Because mine was on the Mean Green Games. And I've got people calling from mud here on like the fourth row.
So I don't want something with too much detail in this, because this is really going to just be a background, a moving background to my logo. The main event on this scene is just going to be my logo.
Mhm.
So I'm looking for something that's not doesn't take too much of the attention away. But at the same time, you definitely want movement. So if you hover over these little thumbnails, it'll play it for you. So
Good.
I definitely want some movement. Okay, so I'm going to go for this one, I think, where we got these feet walking. Yeah, so I'm going to click on that. Now, if your scene is empty, it'll actually just fill your whole canvas with the video that you've chosen. Okay, as you can see there. If you're adding a video clip and there's already something else already on the canvas, it'll add your video clip at a smaller size, usually.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you can use the fit video button on your left-hand panel to get that to fill the screen. So there we are, that's fine. That works great for me there. So what I want next is I want my logo now, my Gwalia Green Games logo, to be in front of this. So I've already downloaded that from the project. Okay. Oh, and what it's done there is just replaced my video. Okay. Now I'm going to undo that because I didn't want to replace the video. So I'll just pop off there and I'll try that again. Okay. Now, if you drag anything directly on top of something else on the new Express, it's actually going to replace it, which is cool, but it's not what I want to do right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it just off the side of the canvas onto the gray area there. There we go. And that kind of tells Express that we want to add this to the scene, not replace the video clip that's already there. Okay. Cool. Now, I'm finding that the background is a little bit too busy. It's taking too much attention away from my logo. So I got some options. My first option is I'm going to try blurring the background a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to click on my background video, and then I'm going to go to Effects on the left-hand side. Oh, no, I'm not. Sorry, wrong one. I'm going to go to Adjustments. I'm just going to bring up the blur slightly.
On the background video.
Yeah, on the background video there. And then I'm also maybe going to bring down the brightness.
And that's just so it doesn't distract the viewer. Is that correct?
Yeah, we just want, the logo should be the star of the show here.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. Okay, so I'm just bring down the brightness. There we go. And now I can see the text really clearly there now. Okay. Great. So if I play that, so we've got down at the bottom of your screen next door to your timeline, at the left-hand side of your first scene, you'll see the play button. And if I click play there now, we could see that kind of walking video with my logo in front.
Yeah.
Cool. Right. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add a voiceover to this scene. Okay. So to record a voiceover, I'm going to come over to the left-hand side again to the media button in my toolbar. And then this time I'm going to choose the audio tab. And you'll see there a button that says record voiceover. So I'm going to click on that. It's going to show you the level of your microphone. Okay, so if you're getting a load of red all the time, it means your microphone's, the setting is too high, it's too loud, or maybe you're just too close to it. Okay.
Yeah.
So if it's just touching red a little bit, like mine is there, that's absolutely fine. But if it's constantly red, I won't do it now. I don't want to scream at you all. Then then you want to.
Also, if someone's using it for the first time, it might be asking them to allow the microphone to be used. Is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you'll get a little pop-up on, especially if you're using Google Chrome, you get a little pop-up, which will ask you to allow the microphone. Also, top tip. I've prepared this for this video, Dom. If you're in a noisy classroom.
Oh, yeah. That's a good top tip.
Grab your coat. Okay. Here we go. And you should notice that that's going to make your voice sound
much... The difference is actually incredible. The difference is absolutely incredible.
It's going to make your voice sound warmer and clearer. And
block out all of those background noises.
Yeah. and it means your teacher can have a good laugh at you all hiding underneath your coats as well. And, teachers need a laugh. So, get under your coats, guys. Right. So I'm going to start recording. So when I hit that start recording button, it's going to count me down from 3. And then I'm not going to start speaking straight away because sometimes that'll clip the beginning of your voice. And then there's nothing you can do to get that back. So I'm just going to leave a beat, start speaking. When I've finished speaking, I'm going to leave a beat and stop recording. For the same reason, I don't want to clip off the end of my speech. Okay,
Gotcha.
Here we go. I'm going to click now and we're going to record. 3, 2, 1. Shwmai, croeso, welcome to Gwalia Green Games. There we go.
Nicely done.
Oh,
Loved
thank
it.
you. Thanks. So you noticed there that I left that beat before we started, and I did the same at the end. And now what we're going to do is we're going to just straight away we're going to tidy that up. So what I do is I've got the playhead is this black line, and that shows us where we are in time on the video. So I'm just going to drag that back. Okay, I'm going to play this first clip, and I'm going to try and kind of memorize where this black line was when my voice actually starts making a noise. Okay, and you'll see why now. And I'm going to try and stop it straight away. Once I hear my voice, I'm going to stop playing it. Okay, so I'm going to click play and stop once I hear my voice. Shwmai, there, right. And now my voice kind of came in around here. So now I'm going to just come down to this blue bar. This is my voice clip. And at the left-hand side there, you can see a little trim handle. And I'm just going to trim that back to there. Okay. Now I can bring the whole clip back towards the beginning of the scene. And then I'll just click play now to make sure that I haven't clipped off my voice. Shwmai, croeso, welcome to Gwalia Green Games. Stop there. And I can trim everything after the playhead back. I don't need
And that's just so you've got a really clean piece of audio. Is that right?
Yeah, because, you'll have things like your breath. You'll have the sound of the mouse clicking, or probably if you're doing this in class, you're going to have, the sound of everybody else recording their voiceovers as well. So really, you want to crop this as close as possible to the beginning and the end of your actual voice.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, everything after that, I don't really need into this walking video. So what I could do is the same way that I trimmed back my audio, my voiceover, I can do the same thing with the actual scene itself. There we go.
I mean, you could have like a second either side, couldn't you? So it's not so tight to
I have left a little bit of a gap before and after it. But as you say, Dom, and again, you can test it out. And if you feel that it's too tight, then you can just trim things back out. So let's just try this first scene now. Shwmai, croeso, welcome to Gwalia Green Games. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so I'm ready to move on to my second scene. So.
And actually, can I just ask a question here? So you're going to go on to different scenes here, which are kind of going to reflect what you're doing in this, in the storyboard here, and you're going to follow this pattern. Now, I would imagine that lots of people watching this would be tempted to put a soundtrack on right now, but I think you're leaving that to the end for a very good reason.
I am, yeah. I think music is something when you're editing, it's usually the last thing you'll add, unless you're intentionally trying to cut to the beat. So cutting to the beat is when you want to change from one video clip to another clip, and you want that to happen on the beat of the music. Now, that's something I like doing when I'm editing videos, but that would actually be quite a difficult thing to do on Express. We will have a look at doing that, but that's not the point of this. We're not making a music video. Where the video and the text and the voiceover are going to be the main event in this, and then the music will just be a little bit of stardust that we'll sprinkle on when we get to the end of it.
Gotcha.
Okay, let's add our next scene. So I'm going to click add scene, and as you can see there now, it's just giving me this blank canvas, this white bar on my timeline. And I'm just going to do the same again. I'm going to go click on media in the left-hand toolbar and click on videos. And this time I'm going to search for lake
So let's
Forest.
just while you're doing that, I'm just going to put it up just to remind people of what we've got here.
Yeah. So that top right-hand side comic strip is what I'm kind of trying to match. Okay, so you can see there we've got the lake and the forest and that one already could be a good one. Yeah, I don't think I need to look any further, to be honest. That looks great. Okay, I love that. That's brilliant. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add text this time. Okay, so I've got my video clip here. So to add text, you're going to do that exactly the same way as you would on a normal Adobe Express project if you're making a poster. Okay, so on the left-hand side, I'm going to click on text. And you could use one of the presets. You know, the presets are in here. There's a load of cool stuff in there. But I always like adding my own text. So I'm going to click Add Your Own Text. Okay, and I'm going to type in here, looking for adventure, ?
So you could do that as a voiceover as well, couldn't you?
We will be, yes, indeed.
So are you going to use this? Are you going to keep this text on the screen, or are you going to use it as an auto cue kind of thing?
I'm going to keep it on. I'm going to keep it on the screen because I've forgotten what the actual stat is for this, but it's really interesting that it's something like 65%, I think, of people who watch videos on social media watch them with the sound turned off.
Yeah.
And do you know what? I'm one of those people.
Yeah, I can.
When I'm on YouTube, I've obviously got the sound on. But if I'm scrolling through social media, I will hardly ever turn the sound on a video. Hardly ever.
I suppose another point to that is actually accessibility as well. So people who actually can't access sound.
Absolutely. So if you're advertising something, you're really missing a trick by not having text on the screen. Because a lot of people are just not going to engage with it. It's worth noting, I think, it's the first time I've been on a video with you, Dom, when we've got the new text layouts. They're back. Circle text is back, guys. So on the left-hand side, these used to be in the old Express, and they've only just arrived back in the new Express. So now we've got text layouts. There's the default, where you can obviously do left, center, and right align. But then you've got the dynamic text layout, which obviously comes into its own when you have more than one line of text. When you're on one line, it doesn't really, it doesn't really show you what its stuff is. But when you're on more than one line, the dynamic text layout, as you can see, resizes all your text so that they fit the same width, which is really cool. But then we've also got circle text is back. Okay, so, and then you've got arch and bow.
Yeah.
So kind of a semicircle
very
across
good
the top.
Logo stuff, that isn't it, I think.
Sorry, say that again.
Good for logo stuff, I find.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. With the circle, arch, and bow, what you'll find is it either works well or it doesn't work well at all, and you just need to try it and find out. Dynamic will nearly always look good.
That's true.
It's been my long-term favorite, to be honest. Okay, so anyway, that's that. So I'm going to pop that in there. Okay, and then I need to start thinking about making that more visible. So let's have a look at our text. Now, I'm going to bear in mind, the kind of color scheme that I used with my logo. Now, if you want to go super pro on this, guys, what you could do is actually use your logo colors. Okay, so if I copy this, right-click, copy my logo.
Yeah.
Bring it over to the next scene. Paste. Okay, so allow that. There we go. So now I've done that so I can use the color picker. Okay, so on my looking for adventure text, I'm going to click on fill, and then I'm going to use the color picker here, the pipette. And I'm going to go for maybe this brightest green here.
Yeah, it's a good tip, that, because I was just doing mine in white, and actually it looks much better.
And then I'm going to add an outline, and I'm going to use the, I think I'll use the darker green there, and bring that right up. And you'll see straight away it gives you a consistent feel in your video if you stick to the same colors. Okay, this is also known as house style. Maybe that's something you've heard of. So it's just a good tip. Now, if you're still struggling, if you still think, oh, I can't quite see it very well, maybe add a shadow. Okay, so let's add a halo shadow there. And for that, I'll use my third color, the lighter green. There we go.
Okay, interesting, yeah.
No, maybe not the halo. I just go through. Oh, hazy works really well, actually.
Yeah,
Really
I've
well.
got hazy on and it does work well.
Yeah, cool. So that's my text done there. So I'm gonna delete this logo now because I don't really want it on this scene now. Okay, so just pop that off. And I'm ready to record my voiceover for this scene. Now, a little tip for you is your voiceover should be related to, linked to the text on the screen, but you can say more in your voiceover than you've got in text on the screen. Okay? So the text is just saying looking for adventure, but I could ask, are you looking for your next big adventure in Wales?
Yeah,
Now,
okay,
what
that's a
I'm
good tip.
saying there, what I'm saying there gives a little bit more information than the text on the screen, but it's totally linked to it. You never want to type all that on the screen. It's too much to read. Okay, so let's go. Let's record it. So media, audio, record voiceover, and then start recording. And remember about leaving that little beat before you start to speak. 3, 2, 1. Are you looking for your next big adventure in Wales? There we go.
And again,
Oh,
you
then
can
you know
do
what
that thing with trimming at the start, trimming at the end.
Yeah, I'm going to do the same again. Play. Pause there. You heard me take a breath there, so I know that I'm just about to speak. Are you looking? Perfect. Nailed it. Right. And then I'll just play it to the end. Are you looking for your next big adventure in Wales? Pause it there. Trim it back. And then all of this stuff I don't want. Trim that right back.
So when you're trimming that, are you conscious that you're looking for clips that are roughly the same size, or is it, is that enough? Because they're sort of similar but not exact.
The length of them, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I to be honest, I always presume that I'm going to be using less of it than what it's offering me. I'm never going to use 15 seconds of just a river. That's boring. It's a cool shot. We literally need a few seconds of it, 3 seconds maybe, and that's enough. And then we move on. So, you'll always be trimming your clips back.
Yeah.
All right. Okie dokie. Shall we move on to the next scene, Dom?
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
Do you want to flash it up on screen again just so we can see what we've got?
Yeah, great. Now, I don't think I need to go through all these scenes today, do I?
No, I don't think so. I mean, I think going through one more and then maybe like show some animation would be good.
Yeah, great. Cool. So, I'll just add one more scene then. Okay. So add the scene, and we're going through exactly the same process. Media, okay, video, and then I'm going to search in here. So this time I'll search for maybe hiking.
Yeah, I mean, this is where the difference between what you storyboard and what you can actually achieve is different, isn't it? Because, like, for example, we've both got hikers, going into a reception, but that is a very specific video, isn't it? So just talk us through what kind of choices you're making now.
I mean, you might get something. I'm looking. I've got a reception here, and you could even just go for something like that. Just a reception bell. That suggests it. But the point with this is, and this is, if you ever go and work in the media after school, a lot of media companies these days they use a blended approach to video assets. They'll basically try and find as much library stuff as they can, like we're doing now, and then they'll have maybe a really short list of stuff that they need to go out and film. So they'll be like, right, okay, we've got all the kind of sea stuff, river stuff, hiking stuff. We literally need you to go and film inside the reception of Gwalia Green Games. And then what they're paying that videographer is much less than having to send them out for maybe two days to film all these different activities. And that's a reality now. And it's something that, video libraries are being used more and more and more. Okay, so, having a mixture of both is fine. All right. Okay. So yeah, I could get away with some of these for reception. There's a person on the phone there that could do.
Yeah.
That could work. That could work absolutely fine, couldn't it?
Yeah. To be fair, yeah.
Yeah. I won't on this because this is going to be my last one. So I want one of the activities, I think. Okay. So I'm basically skipping ahead to my final slide on the storyboard, and I think actually the very first result there is not a million miles off what I was going for. Okay, I can't see the sea, but otherwise it's got the same feel. Okay, it's definitely got the same vibe as what I wanted on that. Okay, so I'm ready for my last voiceover then for today. But obviously you guys, you're going to be completing your whole storyboard, so you'll have more scenes than I've got, but you get it. Okay, so media, and then audio, record voiceover, and let's start recording. Come down to Gwalia Green Games to find your Welsh adventure. Okay. Oh yeah, as well, space bar. There's a little tip for you guys. Rather than use the play button to start and stop, okay, you can drag your playhead, space bar to start playing, space bar to stop. Okay.
Yeah.
And then trim it back, drag my playhead, space bar. Come down to Gwalia Green Games to find your Welsh adventure. Spacebar stop. Trim that back. Trim all of this video off. There we go. So, text on this, it would be same again. Text on the left, add your text. Okay. Visit us. Okay, and I'm going to go for the dynamic again. Now, I'm going to need my colors again. My colors in again. You could just add your you could add your colors in. You could build up, a color scheme and add them into the project. But
I mean, one of the other ways that you could do it is actually just duplicate your text and then replace it with different text. That's what I've been doing.
Yeah, duplicate that actual text box from the other slide. Yeah.
Yeah.
I actually want my logo here because it's the final slide anyway. So this is fine. Okay, so I'm going to do same, and maybe I'm going to go for different colors this time. So I'll go for the lighter green in the middle, and maybe the middle green, the bright green for the outline. Not sure about that. Swap them around. There we go. And then I'm going to add the shadow. What was it again? Hazy was nice, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was hazy.
For, that dark. There. Okay. And then just pop that up there. And then just pop my logo in underneath. Maybe I'm going to rotate it to get that a bit squarer for this one. Yeah. And I'm going to overlap that edge onto my text, roughen it up a bit. Cool. Okay, so what we've learned to do so far, we've learned the basics of adding media, so adding video clips, and then we've added overlay text, and we've used the logo as well. Okay, so the animation that I'm going to do today with you is just transition effects, transition animations between scenes. Okay, and then we're going to look at other types of animation on next week's session. So the final thing we're going to look at is transitions. So transitions is how we get from a scene to the next scene. So the standard transition is called a cut. So when the first scene ends, the next scene starts straight away. Okay? So we go from that to that. There's no halfway. Okay? We cut from one scene to the other. So if you want to add a different transition, you've got that little plus icon between your scenes down in your timeline. I'm going to click on that. And you've got two options. Basically, add scene is if you want to, put a scene in between scene 1 and scene 2 and shift everything else forward. So you're not going to use a lot of that, I don't think. But add transition is what we're doing, which is the bottom option there. So I'm going to click on add transition. Now, if I hover over, we've got 3 options at the moment. Now, as you can see, there are more transition effects coming soon. So if I hover over dissolve, it'll actually show you. There we go. Okay, so dissolve, it melts from one to the other. Okay, you can see there, one fades out as the other fades in. So that's a really smooth transition. It's not very in your face. It's quite a nice subtle transition. And then we got push, where scene 2 actually kind of pushes scene 1 out of the way. And slide is similar to push, but scene 2 slides in front of scene 1. Okay, so they're kind of similar, but you can see with push that scene 1 actually gets pushed off to the side.
Yeah.
Okay. So for this one, I'm trying to create a bit of excitement. So I'm going to go for push on this one. Okay. When you choose your transition, it'll give you some options. If you want your transition to happen slowly, you can increase the duration. So I could take that all the way up to 3 seconds. And if I watch that now, in games, are you looking for your next pushed over really slowly? If I want to change it, I just click back on this transition icon, and I get this menu back up on the left-hand side. So let's bring that right down to like half a second, something like that. Okay, and try it now. Games. Are you looking? Okay, so it just kind of slides over faster, basically.
Yeah.
What else can we do? Well, we've actually got kind of it's called personality on here. The kind of technical term for this is easing. So does it start off fast and then kind of slow down, or does it start off slow and then speed up as the transition goes? So you might not notice a huge difference between these personalities, but they are basically related to the term easing if you're doing any animation. And then direction. Now, this is more important. Now then, my person in this first clip is Gwalia Green Games forward. So it makes sense for my push transition to actually push up.
Right.
Because my person's walking in that direction. Let's try it. Yeah, Green Games. Are you looking for your... So it pushes in the same direction as the person is walking.
Gotcha.
Okay. Let's add another transition then between these. Now, you can mix and match transitions, but it can look a bit cheesy. Okay. So just be careful with that. I don't think there's any problem with mixing and matching directions, the direction of your transition. But mixing between push and slide or push and dissolves, it just makes your whole video look a little bit inconsistent. So
consistency is definitely key, isn't it?
Yeah. It's like it's the video equivalent of making a poster and using 10 different fonts on it. Making a video with 10 different transitions, it just looks a bit unprofessional. But again. Rules are there to be broken. So if that's what you want to do on your video, guys, then don't let me tell you not to. Okay, if it looks good, it is good. Let's check this one out. Come down to Gwalia Green Games to find your Welsh adventure. Cool. Okay, so I think we can leave it. Do you want to do music today, Dom, or should we do that next time?
No, let's leave it there, I think, for now. I think there's enough for actually looking through and getting content sorted. I think that's the bulk of the job for today, and then we can start making it look really fancy in future sessions.
you don't want to get distracted by music and animations and that type of stuff, and that your voiceover's clipped, or that the videos you've chosen aren't very good, or that your text isn't clear enough, So today we've really got the important basics done, and now next session we'll open this same project up, and then we're going to add some Stardust to it.
Nice. Cool. Well, thank you very much for that session. Really appreciate it. Do work on your own. Don't forget that, it can be, 4 scenes. It could be 6 scenes, depending on what you storyboarded from the previous lessons that we've recorded here. But yeah, get those in. And then in future sessions, we'll be looking at things like animation, looking at things like soundtracks and all that kind of good stuff. Thank you very much, Menedydd.
Diolch yn fawr. Okay, nice one. Thanks for coming along.
Cool. See you in the next one.